Hey, this is Phil Lilley, Lilley's Landing Resort and Marina on Lake Taneycomo. We're going to do one cast today. I'm out here with Jackson. It's Wednesday the 3rd of March and they are running that half unit of water today. I've boated up here just above the resort, not too far, and I'm going to drift. And I'm going to drift from here down a little ways. It's about 9:30 in the morning, almost 10 a.m. I'm sitting kind of in the shadow of the bluff still, and I'm going to fish kind of the edge where there's sunshine out here and shade behind me. I did this last evening. I've got a 32nd ounce sculpin and ginger jig on. I'm using 2-pound line. Got a little breeze coming up from the south, looks like. But I did this last evening, fishing from the resort down, just throwing out. Basically let it sink to the bottom. It's about 10-11 feet deep out here. Let it sink to the bottom and then just work it real slow. Just pop it. Make sure I'm not dragging the bottom. Just kind of keep moving it, but not reeling a lot. So I'm staying close to the bottom. And I caught 10 real nice well, not all of them were nice, but I had one about 3 pounds. Almost a 20-inch rainbow down by Lazy Valley. And I had several other real nice 15, 16, 17-inch rainbows doing this. I didn't catch a lot, but the size of the fish I was very impressed with. Oh yeah, that wind's really starting to pick up. And if I work it too fast, it comes off the bottom too much. If it's anything like it was last night, you know, it had to be pretty close to the bottom, although it did get closer to nothing on the first cast. It did, when it got closer to dark, the fish were really coming up and midging hard. And I tried to work the jig shallow, not letting it sink. Didn't do quite as well. I got a few bites, but I did better when I was fishing deep still. There are a lot of fish down in what we call the Cooper Creek Flat, down below Cooper Creek. The indication of that was there's just a ton of fish that were midging. I kind of felt like they were the ones I could see. Midging were a little bit smaller, maybe just stock fish. The fish that I was catching though had been in the lake for quite a while. They were nice, big, thick fish, big bellies, real good color. Like I said, I didn't catch a lot of fish, so I'm not really looking to catch a lot of fish on this one cast, but sure caught some nice ones though. Guys have been fishing, drifting minnows and night crawlers down through here yesterday and today and catching some good fish. Some guys left this morning, said they're fishing a night crawler down my monkey and had a real nice brown on. Just didn't get it in the net. They've been fishing down here a couple, 3 days. There's actually quite a bit of moss in the water, suspended. We usually don't see that until April, May. Kind of hard. It's very hard to see this 2-pound line, but if you can see it, you can see your jig hit the bottom when the line goes slack, or you go slack and you have a fish. I will pop the jig. If the line goes slack, I'll pop it. It's not really a set, but it serves as a set, just like that. But if it's not the bottom, you know, it's like you're jigging it still. But anytime it goes slack, you want to. Here's one. I caught several fish doing that on the initial drop. You know, we go to pop it, and they're there. Couple small ones. That almost looks like a native. He was really, really pretty. Perfect fish. Well, we don't know if they're a native or not. Yeah, that wind might just mess up my plan. The wind keeps me from getting that jig to the bottom. It's harder because the wind's blowing your line and it doesn't allow that 32nd ounce jig to sink. Tell you what, I'm going to get closer to this bank over here because it looks like the wind's not blowing quite as hard. Looks like it's kind of out of the southwest, so this bank's sheltered from a west wind. Maybe. So this side, the water's not going to be as deep because I was fishing probably more like 6 to 7 feet deep instead of 10 to 12. So I'm not going to let it sink quite as much. Oh, there's one. Oh, I think I just had that's two little bumps. This would actually be really good jig and float. The chop on the water is perfect for fishing a jig under a float. Well, I'm getting a little close to the bank. I think I'm gonna motor up and get back out in the middle. Okay. Kind of stay with my original plan. Stay out here in this deeper water. That wind is just kind of coming and going. If it gets too windy, you can go with a 1/16 ounce jig and do pretty much the same thing, and the wind won't bother your presentation too much with a heavier jig. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I think maybe those little fish moved up from Cooper Creek Flat to here. That's a good brown trout bait right there.
Thanks a lot. Now I gotta catch one.
Get one. When I say brown trout bait, that's about the size of bait that you can't use trout to catch trout. Can't use any part of a game fish to catch another game fish. That's the rule. Kingfishers having a little territory battle. Kind of like the blue herons do the same thing. They have their own territories and they run off their competition if one invades their space. Kind of fun to watch sometimes. I think those are, I saw 3 kingfishers. They're chasing each other. I'm picking up my line about halfway back to the boat. I can't see it when I throw it out there. About halfway back I can start to see the line, and but I don't think you can go too slow. I mean, if you get caught up on the bottom, you lose a jig, that's fine. You can go too fast, but you can't go too slow. And that's some moss. Oh, nasty moss. That's off the bottom. Yeah, this is really kind of finesse fishing. Just going slow and watching your line and trying to keep it deep. Although I think I catch more or hook more fish when I go to jig and they're there. Under these conditions. Okay, I'm going to move out a little bit more in the middle. Here comes that wind. I'm back out. Oh, I got moss again. I'm back out in pretty deep water, so I'll let it go down. I let it go down too far. Couple more casts and I'll be to the dock and I'm going to call it quits. Somebody said they were fishing a ginger jig yesterday and doing really good too. Another good color. I would go to black probably after fishing a sculpin and ginger. There we go. It's better fish. Of course, better could be 12 inches because I haven't caught anything over 12 today. Not real long, but it's a nice big fat fish. That's a lot of the fish I caught yesterday just had big old fat bellies. We'll go one more before the buoy. Yesterday I noticed that the generation got down to 12 megawatts and the level got to 704. That is crazy slow. You could do a lot of really good wading up below the dam at that level. And getting a boat to the cable would be pretty tricky. Even for someone that knew what they were doing. Come on, wind. Last cast. Yeah, that wind's coming over the bluff. Yeah, that didn't work. I want to get one more good cast in. We'll go back over in the shade. There we go. I don't think I made it to the bottom on that cast. It just didn't feel right. think I'm sitting kind of in an eddy over against this bluff, so I'm going to move the boat downstream a little bit. Yeah. You really got to have a lot of patience fishing this way. It's a lot of fun. I like doing it. Hope you learned something. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow.